Alex Ferguson, a man who was so successful at football that the Queen made him Sir Alex Ferguson. 26 years at Manchester United, 38 trophies along the way, the infamous treble season to top it all off. This Scotsman has built a legacy that most would agree is the best in football history. From building up the class of 92 to legends, to helping Ronaldo on his way to becoming a multiple-time Ballon d'Or winner. Now, Manchester United's last Premier League title is over 12 years in the past. Coincidentally, that was the last season under Ferguson's reign. Since then, £1.6 billion have been spent. Pogba for 90 million, Harry Maguire for 80, and Jadon Sancho for 73. These are just a few to mention, whilst their city rivals in blue have taken over the Premier League under Pep Guardiola. Ferguson has had enough. He's back now to turn Manchester red again. He's back to take his legacy even further, to make it untouchable for Pep Guardiola or anyone else. With the help of mods, the man is back in FIFA, and we're going to utilize him as the manager for United. The harsh reality of United right now is the fact that they are 13th with 37 points. And just now, Ruben Amorim and his team have lost against Nottingham Forest with this starting 11, basically, where Bruno Fernandes, Højlund, and Garnacho were in the attack. In midfield, you had Dalot, Ugarte, Casemiro, and actually Dorgu in left midfield. Mazraoui played as a left-sided centre-back, De Ligt in the centre, Yoro at right centre-back, and Onana in goal. But clearly, things are not necessarily working out so far for Amorim. First of all, the 3-4-3 has to go. And the iconic 4-4-2 formation is making its comeback. With this setup, we're going to try and emulate the likes of, for example, Andy Cole and Ruud van Nistelrooy up top. In midfield, we want to emulate the likes of Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. In defense, we want to have the Rio Ferdinand and Vidic type of players. And in goal, obviously, we'll have to find someone better than Onana to replicate the likes of Schmeichel. But now let's talk about our goals with Ferguson. First of all, we want to have a youth academy player come through and play in the starting 11 as an homage to the class of 92. But also along the way, as Fergie has done in the past, we want to sell a key player every 2 seasons, like he has done with Beckham or Ronaldo. Talking about Ronaldo, he was the only player under Ferguson to ever win the Ballon d'Or. So we want to change that and find the next one for him. And finally, the treble is a must. Ferguson has to win the FA Cup, the Premier League, and the Champions League in 1 season. Those goals are going to be tough to achieve, but one thing is ahead of us that I'm really looking forward to. For the first time that we win the Premier League again, Fergie gets to bring back one of his players. It could be Schmeichel. I could opt in for him. It could be the likes of Rio Ferdinand for our defense. It could be the midfield maestro and leader, Roy Keane, or we could bring back someone like Cristiano Ronaldo or Wayne Rooney. But only one of these players will be signed once we win our first Premier League title again. Instantly though, Fergie is sending out a scout to look for a striker, a centre mid, or a centre back. And obviously we'll be sending him to England to find the one academy player that we'll have in our starting 11 at some point. Right now, we have about 133 million in the budget, and I'm currently in the process of cutting costs. We have let go of Marcus Rashford, Mason Mount, Eriksen, and Casemiro, taking our budget up to 212 million. But here is where things get interesting. Alex Ferguson wants to go ahead and find the next big talent in the youth academy, and we get our first scout report. 700k for this guy. I'm gonna sign him just in case. Come on, give me a really good one, someone that can be outstanding, someone that is worth 3.2 million. Michael Barry, 16 years old, 6'2", signed. That might just be the best talent I've found in I don't know how long. United has done it again. Riley Wallace, 800k in value. We're gonna sign all of these guys except this one, and I want to see his rating. What's it? 68. It's a 68. Okay, we have now found 3 talents where 2 of them seem very good in terms of potential, but that guy, 5-star skill moves, amazingly balanced stats, center midfielder, I'm going to build him up to put him into the starting 11 at some point. Ferguson, you've got your academy talent. And now all 3 of these players have been loaned out to get playtime somewhere else and hopefully grow into better players. Manchester United now are in the 7th position with 29 points, too far away from Champions League football. And this is the January transfer window. I haven't signed anyone. Ferguson has seen enough. The team is not doing well enough. It needs a new addition. Ollie Watkins now joins into this Manchester United squad from Aston Villa because Alex Ferguson is fully aware that he likes to have some UK players in his team. So this is the move we had to make to take our team to the next level. Only 45 million spent on this one. In real life, it probably would have been a little bit more. Now, both of our strikers have grown, but I'm not necessarily happy with it. Now, we're bringing Watkins into the starting 11, and with that, Xerxes drops off onto the bench. I guess we're going to take off Wheatley there, but Watkins comes in at the age of 29 with 3 playstyles on him: chip shot, rapid, and relentless, and obviously shooting on an 82, which should be quite useful. But I am seeing this team, and I'm realizing even though Ahmad is really good in real life, right now in simulations, 78 rating is probably not good enough. Pretty sure that Jared Bowen was also inspired by the likes of David Beckham. So I thought an English right midfielder would be perfect for this team. Someone who is experienced, someone who has done quite well in the Premier League and has shown great performances over and over again. And just for 30 million, this deal has now gone through. We need help now. And if this team can push into European football, thanks to the likes of Bowen and Watkins joining into the squad, I'll be a very, very happy man. But that is, or those are the 2 transfers I'm making. Bowen comes in at the age of 28 with 81 shooting as a right midfielder. Pretty impressive. And of course, as the technical playstyle as well. Lads, go on and help Ferguson get this team into Europe again. And the signings have worked. Manchester United finishes 3rd this season, just 4 points behind Manchester City. Yes, the FA Cup belongs to someone else, and so does the Carabao Cup. And even the Europa League, in which we lost against AS Roma, belongs to Lazio in the end. But what this Manchester United team has is hope. That is what we have, my friends, and we have built a decent enough squad for season number 1 to be proud of. A team that worked its way up in the second half thanks to the signings of Ollie Watkins and Bowen. Now I want to know, have they actually helped? Let's see their stats real quick. We see Bruno, top scorer. Xerxes, 22 and 7. We had Højlund injured, so that might be a reason. Watkins, 20 and 17. But we got to keep in mind, some of that playtime was for Aston Villa, so that's still pretty good. And then we have Jared Bowen coming in with 9 and 5 this season. Pretty happy with that. We also have Jadon Sancho returning from his loan deal. In the intro, you heard that he was one of the most expensive signings that Manchester United have ever made. So now that United fans hate him, let's make sure we sell him in the new season. At the end of the season, I have 161 million though, so I'm thinking about spending it before we lose it. In the name of Patrice Evra, we are signing Theo Hernandez, the French left back from AC Milan, for 90 million. And in the name of Gary Neville, Tino Livramento, the English right back, comes in for 36.5. Theo Hernandez being the main signing, here is his presentation. What a signing this would be for United. Dalot is 84 rated, but Hernandez +4 on top of it. This is the Manchester United we want to see. A team that just brings in the best of the best. And for the right back position, Livramento is going to be competing against Mazraoui. Let's see if he can win that battle at some point and take over and become the next Gary Neville. But Theo Hernandez comes in at the age of 27 with a bunch of playstyles, including the Bruiser Plus, which is interesting to see. But generally speaking, probably one of the most overpowered fullbacks in the game. And Livramento, how many playstyles does he actually have on him? He comes in with Jockey and Technical. I love the Jockey. When a player has Jockey Plus, I feel so safe in defending. And when it comes to defending, with Sir Alex Ferguson, that defensive back line, the back 4, was always immense for his team. So I want these guys to defend first and then potentially attack. Going into this season, Jadon Sancho leaves us for 52 million to join back into the Bundesliga. Ugarte goes for 50 million because we don't need CDMs. Luke Shaw has left for 27.5. We have plenty of fullbacks. And Michael Berry has gone out on loan again to return at one stage. This has now taken our budget to 250 million, basically. And now Arsenal fans look away because just like he did with Van Persie back in the day to win the Premier League title, now we're stealing one of Arsenal's best. Declan Rice is going to be the English midfielder to take our team to the next level. Kobe Mainu, you're a talent, but this guy is the finished product already. 100 million. This would shake up the Premier League in an incredible way. He comes in to take his place next to Bruno Fernandes, of course. I'm going to turn Declan Rice into a centre midfielder. We all know that he has offensive qualities. So he comes in with long ball pass, block, intercept, press proven, relentless. And just like Van Persie back in the day when he had joined Manchester United, this could be the next step for United to go ahead and win the Premier League title again. And when we do, I get to sign one of our former players. But as soon as we finish this season, going into the next year, we have to sell a key player. No idea how, but Manchester United somehow finished in the 9th position this season. That is unworthy of a Sir Alex Ferguson. The starting 11, I mean, I don't know why Xerxes is struggling. He's on a -1. I guess Højlund has been taking over his position, but Watkins up to an 87. Owen 84, Garnacho 84, Bruno is up to a 91. For whatever reason, I want to call him Ruben Fernandes. But anyways, we have Declan Rice there with the 87, De Ligt 88, Martinez 86. Defensively, we're looking great. Mazraoui has lost the battle for right back. Bas Dalot is up to an 85, and it could be playing for us. Now Yoro is the #1 backup choice for our team. And Anthony back into the team now up to an 80 rating. So I'm looking at this and thinking, surely this squad has to do better than just going ahead and getting a top 10 finish only. I mean, that is quite sad if you ask me. But off we go. 25 and 11 for Bruno. 19 and 8 from Watkins. Garnacho 11 and 3. This season was not good enough. So now finally it is happening. Sir Alex Ferguson has to let go of a big player every 2 seasons. And this time it is Bruno Fernandes, the highest rated player, the best performing player, now 31 years old, leaves the club for 120 million to actually go ahead and join Arsenal. But that move now puts my budget at 323 million. And when I think of an English midfielder, there is one clear favorite that I want to have at Manchester United. In the name of Paul Scholes, we are bringing in Jude Bellingham. Of course, this had to happen. Now, normally, Manchester United should not be able to sign him. But because it's Sir Alex Ferguson, anything is possible. So, he has now joined us for 215 million, which probably makes him the most expensive transfer ever. I think Neymar's price tag was around that, to be fair. But Cubby, I'm sorry, man. You're just not going to get that position. Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice in that midfield. 2 Englishmen next to each other. 94 rated centre mid. At this stage, I have to move on either Højlund or Xerxes to go ahead and sign a new striker. And it looks like Xerxes has put in a transfer request. So that makes things a bit easier. But Jude coming in with that 94 rating at just 23 years old, with all these play styles and all his ability, this should put us straight back into the top 4 and ideally even for the title. Fergie once said, when Eric came, it all changed. And that is why I'm going for a French striker in the name of Eric Cantona. This is Hugo Ekitike, who currently is on fire for Frankfurt. And many teams are interested in signing the lad. And he comes into our team at a rating of 84. He's going to be battling it out against Højlund, for example. We'll see how that one goes. But Ekitike comes in at that 84, just 24 years old, 6'2". He has the technical play style. He has 90 pace, 83 shooting, 85 dribbling, 4-star skill moves. He truly could take his game to the next level here at Manchester United. With the new signings, United have finally done it. 90 points on the record, ahead of Manchester City. And the City is now red again. And so it should be, because this starting 11 is genuinely ridiculous. Garnacho is up to an 88 now, and he's only 22 years old. My God. When I look at the rest of the team, yes, we do have a 31-year-old Ollie Watkins, who now is 90 rated, by the way. Owen is 30 years old, 85 rated. Livramento looking solid in that right-back position. Everyone looking great. Even Onana has gone up to 86 rating. I mean, amazing stuff here. So Alex Ferguson is working quite well at the club as we speak. And in terms of goal scorer, Watkins is the one. Højlund has played all the games. He's gone up to an 87. Oh, what the hell happened there? Ekitike, you were supposed to be the #2 in this team behind Watkins. You know what? That's impressive. I'm very impressed by that. Maybe at some point, when we have to go ahead and sell another player in a year's time, we might just go ahead and let go of Watkins and let Højlund and Ekitike do their thing up top. And that Premier League title obviously now unlocks access to the former Manchester United legends. I have to think long and hard about which player I want to have in my team. I think I have an idea already, specifically when I look at the right-hand side of the squad. Alex Ferguson never had the chance to coach one of the best of Manchester United's history. That, my friends, is of course George Best, now putting together his forces with Sir Alex Ferguson. My God, what a move this is. From the classic team into the current squad. He comes in at a rating of 90 and he takes over from Jared Bowen. That is what I want to see. 91 pace, 89 shooting, 82 passing, 92 dribbling, 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot, flair, first touch, quick step. One of the best to ever do it. And now part of Manchester United once more. I wanted to actually sign him because obviously all the other ones that I've shown, the likes of Ronaldo, Rio, blah, 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 all those guys already played for Ferguson. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to take it to the next level. Now that we have gotten past the likes of Manchester City and turned the city red, the other Reds have taken over. Liverpool are in the first position, 72 points. We are 2 points behind them, and even Aston Villa has finished ahead of Manchester United. And at this stage, someone has to ask the question, why is this happening? We have George Best on a 91 rating, though. It seems like he hasn't necessarily played, which I don't like. Owen is up to an 88. Where's Højlund? Wait, did someone get rid of my Højlund? Why? Why would you let go of Højlund? Who has gotten rid of him? Ekitike has scored 22 and 3. He has done better than Ollie Watkins, who only has 7 and 5. I know already which key player I'm selling in this upcoming transfer window. Having said that, Højlund has apparently left us for 188 million to Nottingham Forest, the former giant. And we have Michael Barry still out on loan, by the way. Declan Rice, be careful. This guy's coming for your spot. Due to the rule of letting go a key player every 2 seasons, well, this one works out just fine. Ollie Watkins is leaving for 118 million to Brighton. In the name of Carlos Tevez and in the name of annoying the blue side of Manchester, we are bringing in Julian Alvarez into this United squad. I have just watched a couple of videos on old United players talking about their team and everything. And I believe Rio was basically saying that Carlos Tevez could play anywhere on the pitch. So I'm just thinking Alvarez is also someone that can play as a striker, as a cam, as a winger. He could do anything. So for me, this was the signing I wanted to make and I'm very happy about it. And if this team doesn't win trophies, I mean, there is something inherently wrong with this game. Oh, and by the way, I'm turning Bowen into a striker now, which actually could be a bit of an issue for Alvarez because Bowen as a striker goes up by +1 and he's now 89 rated. And by the way, Barry is now 19 years old and 83 rated. He wants to come into that starting 11. Declan, beware. I'm sorry I have to disappoint, but the treble is no option. Because the Carabao Cup has been won by United 3-0, first of all. The FA Cup has also been won 3-0 against Nottingham Forest, making it a double. And on top of it, the Premier League title goes Manchester United's way. 75 points this season. Having only scored 63 goals, which seems a bit low to me. If you consider we have played 38 games, I would like to see more from our team. Another thing that will make United fans pretty happy is the fact that Manchester City are in the 8th position outside of the European spots, if I'm not mistaken. Bit of a mad one, really. I did not expect that at all. But in the league phases of the Champions League. Now, here is where things could get interesting. Is United up for a quadruple? This is something that hasn't been done before in England. So United have finished 5th with 16 points in the league phase. Then in the playoffs, some other teams got through and they faced us down here in the round of 16. Villarreal got smacked up 5-1, making it look easy right there. And Barcelona, regular one, against Barcelona Classic played against each other. The Classics have beaten the current team. No surprise there. In the quarterfinals, we stepped up against Arsenal, beat them 4-1, happy with that. Barca Classic goes through against Bayern Classic. As we go into the semi-finals, you'll see that the Barca Classic team, which probably is absolutely insane with Ronaldinho and other players, has been beaten by Juventus, which is huge. And it's a 7-2 on aggregate victory. Now, more importantly, United themselves have beaten Napoli. And now the battle is on. United against Juventus. Two big teams that want that big trophy. But we want a quadruple. And we want to do it with this team. 89 rated in both striking positions. And also the third position. I wonder who has played the most. Garnacho 91 rated right now. George Best as well. Declan Rice on a 90. Bellingham on a 96. With Theo Hernandez on a 92. Martinez on an 89. De Ligt on a 90. Livramento 88. Onana 90 as well. On the bench, obviously Bowen, Mainu, Anthony, the go-to. Actually, all memes aside, he's doing an exceptional job at Real Betis right now. Let's go over to Mazraoui and Dalot to realize we have amazing backups for the fullback position. And for centre-back, we do have Yoro holding it down with Bayunder backing up Onana. Onana being a goalkeeper that I thought I would have to replace, but man, he's gone up nicely. But I said at the beginning of this video that we have to have an academy player in the starting 11. Now the question is, what's his rating? Where is he? Barry, 87 rated, +5 this season at Brentford. Let's recall this man and let's put him into the starting 11 for the game. Let me actually see his stats right now. Declan, I'm sorry, but you're going to turn into a backup right now, buddy. I said he needs to be in the starting 11, and here he is. He comes in with 85 pace, 83 shooting, 85 passing, 89 dribbling, 5-star skill moves, standing 6'2" tall. Dude, beware. There is a youngster that wants to take over this game. But that is good to see. Now, we need to go ahead and find out what has happened in here. Who scored the goals? Ekitike with 30 and 8. Jude with 22 and 18. Alvarez with 20 and 9. So if we were to go ahead and win a Ballon d'Or, it probably would be for Ekitike, who is representing Eric Cantona, who really kickstarted this whole thing for Manchester United when he joined from Leeds. So that is a good segue to go into this finale now. I gotta tell you, I'm really excited about this matchup, but most importantly, I'm excited about using George Best. The last time I used him was probably in Ultimate Team years ago. And of course, playing the 4-4-2 formation, which Alex Ferguson has gotten the most out of. And also playing our Youth Academy player here in Barry, who seems to be quite a physical player, which I love to see instantly. And there goes Best. Skill move. Pass. Ekitike. Strike. We hit the post with our first chance. Best whips the crossing. Ekitike wants it again. Barry will win it. Ekitike. Alvarez. Yes! What a start into the game! Manchester United and Ferguson are back on the biggest stage immediately. Beautifully done by the Youth Academy talent to win that header. Ekitike sees Alvarez and the finish is just perfect. As always, I'm playing this on ultimate difficulty, but I want to know from you guys actually. I don't think I ever asked this, but what difficulty are you guys playing this game on? I would love to know. Let me know in the comments. I genuinely want to see what level you guys are on. If I'm like normal, because most people play Ultimate Team, or if I'm kind of like ahead of the curve there. Let's see. Jude. What a ball. Alvarez. Oh my God. Pumpido. I don't know who you are, but that's a great save. Barry's going to be dominating anyone in the air. This Youth Academy talent ain't losing against Jaap Stam. That is the level of confidence I have in Barry. Ekitike, make a run for me, son. There we go. Ekitike. Alvarez. It's a save. Ekitike jumps, won't get it. 74 minutes in. I am loving this team that we have put together, man. It feels incredible. The 4-4-2 formation was one that I haven't used in a long time, apart from our recent career mode with Wrexham. And in there, I realized the 4-4-2 is hell of fun. I would highly recommend it to you guys as well. As we get the ball back again with Ekitike. Over to the right. Barry is going to be looking for the lads again. Ekitike on the run through. Jaap Stam doesn't get there. And there he goes and scores. 81 minutes in. The Frenchman makes it 2-0. And he makes sure our team wins this Champions League finale. And with that, the quadruple for Ferguson. Is he going to play that short? No, that's a long ball. Ekitike does well. Barry. We have Alvarez right here. Heel to heel by Alvarez. He wants another one. Their number 5 is chasing him. Alvarez over to George Best. He cuts across. The likes of Yapstam. Even though they had Yapstam in their team, they failed miserably. 3-0, it's done. All right, let's see the bus parade with the trophies and who wins the Ballon d'Or. Of course, it says quadruple winners. We have all 4 trophies propped up on the bus as Ferguson manages to celebrate it along with his players. And now the final moment has come. The Ballon d'Or ceremony is in, and Kaká is going to reveal that Hugo Ekitike is the one to win the Ballon d'Or. And funnily enough, he came in as the Cantona of today. Well, now Cantona is congratulating him for this trophy. Sir Alex Ferguson, you have put together an incredible team that has now been able to win it all. Congratulations to the legend once more and this Manchester United team that was truly outstanding. With all that being said though, let me know in the comments down below which rebuild we should be recording up next. And also, most importantly, check out the Wrexham career mode right here. If you haven't seen it, I probably will forget to put the box there. So check out Johnny Sports 2 on YouTube. And once more, thank you guys so much for watching. And we are about to reach 550,000 subscribers, which is just such an insane number. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Take care and peace.